good there. So once again, Charlotte, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me.
My pleasure.
Charlotte Wessels from
Delain.
Yeah, right here in Buffalo, New York, fortunately. Last interview back in September up in Toronto. Had suggested that you guys come and play here, not knowing that the date was going to be released about a week or two later.
Yeah, we
So,
knew, but...
very fortunate. Yeah, right. Well, you knew. Did you know that?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, wow. Awesome. So thanks for not spilling the beans.
No.
Also,
It was hard.
we talked a little bit about who you wanted to play with someday, which turned out to be Nightwish, and here we are.
There was another question which was so hard to answer because I thought if I say Nightwish then I might spoil it. So, but yeah, we're here today with Sabaton and Nightwish, and yeah, what I didn't know back then, because we didn't do the tour with Sabaton yet when we had the last interview, but in the meantime we had also a European tour with Sabaton, and you can hear people cheering out for them now, which is, you know, which they deserve so much.
Absolutely.
We had such a good time touring with them, so it's both so nice to be on tour with them again and see our buddies again, and well, you know, touring with Nightwish is also something that we wanted for a very long time. So we're really excited about the package.
Yeah.
And you know, most of the people that we've encountered so far are really happy with the package. I mean, I think our music is pretty compatible with Nightwish's style. So.
It fits in extremely well. If anything, I think, and I love Sabaton. If anything, they're farther removed from the package than I would say that you guys are as far as what Nightwish offers.
I think so too, but you know, then again, they entertain everyone, so...
Yeah. No, it's a different sound, but it's the same fan.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, no, when this package was announced with Delain, Sabaton, and Nightwish, I was floored, no pun intended. I was really excited about that, though. So, a couple of things. The last interview we talked a lot about you know, the band and a little bit of your background and everything. Wanted to get into a little bit of different stuff this time, except I have to hit on the fact that I was surprised in September you guys had mentioned that, or you had mentioned that you guys had already actually begun work on the follow-up album. So where are we on that?
I think we got like, structure-wise, I think that we have like half of the songs.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do next is they're kind of going into the next phase of production, which means, you know, we've got kind of the song, the structure, the verses, the melodies, the ingredients, and now I'm going to work on the lyrics, and Martijn is going to work on the arrangements, and the boys will get, you know, will get the part and work on their respective parts. So those songs are kind of going into the refining stage, and then we're going to head back to the writing table to start afresh with some new tracks. And I think we still have a lot of ideas from our last writing session that might also get somewhere. So it's actually, yeah, I don't want to jinx it by saying that, you know, we're on schedule and it's going so well, but I think we are.
All right. Well, earlier than I would have thought. I mean, I was surprised when you brought that up in September, but here we are. So, any idea directionally, like what kind of an evolution we're going to hear?
The thing is, like we made our last record, the Human Contradiction, we made it very instinctively and it worked very well. I think production-wise, we're going to do something similar as Human Contradiction because we were just really happy with the mix and the master, so we're going to work with that same team again. And as for the direction of the music, I think it's going to be pretty dark, but then again, most of it is. So, yeah.
Any screaming on there?
Sorry?
I said any screaming on there at all? From you? This time from you?
Well, you know, the whole fact that I scream is so recent that, you know, back when we were working on the songs, I think I didn't even know how to do it.
Not too much is okay, but a little bit is kind of
cool. Well, the good thing is right now, there was this one song actually where we wanted a grunt part, and where usually we'll be like, oh, we call this guy, or oh, we will whisper it, and now I was like, oh, you know, I can do that for the demo. I can do that. So that's nice.
Yep. And I love the guest appearances. I love how you guys have Marco seems like right there every time, which is great. And it fits into the sound really well. I loved hearing Alyssa on the last album. It's awesome too, but you guys don't need any of it.
We performed the song with Alyssa, Tragedy of the Commons, for the very first time a couple of days ago in Montreal. Montreal was lucky. Yeah.
They were very lucky. They're very lucky. My hope someday is that you guys would come and play a place like this when you headline. You headlined Detroit and Vegas on the last tour.
Yes.
So maybe Buffalo can hold out hope that we'll get a return trip someday and a big set list.
You know, we're working so hard to
Absolutely.
So
no question.
that's
You know,
going to happen at one point.
absolutely. Just confession as someone that's doing this, but also huge fan. You already know that. I was extremely prideful to see the reactions tonight in the crowd. It seemed like people either already knew you or figured it out really fast.
They did?
Because they were in there. You always look like you're having a great time on stage, but
I am.
tonight was no exception. And this is a great venue for it. I think you get a kind of a good scope of everybody in the crowd. So that was really cool. Made me feel good to say, hey, you guys actually came to my town and you played and kicked ass. So great job there. Going back to the album a little bit, not to get in too much because it's still going on, but the last time Interlude came out in between albums, which was kind of neat. You guys have a tendency to put some live tracks on your albums lately anyway. No exception there. We got a few more on that one, and some cover songs as well as some new songs. It was kind of a neat mishmash to say, hey, we're really working on the new album, but here's something else in the meantime.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You know, which was super cool.
We had also so much material which didn't fit on the album, right?
Okay.
But we liked it so much.
Yep.
Like the covers, like we had them lying around.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with them? And we felt that they were so different from our usual style that it would also be weird to fit them in on a regular record.
Yeah.
So this interlude record, it really had those two functions. Like one is like we're working. We know we spent a lot of time making our previous record. This time we don't want to keep you waiting that long. Here is this record.
Yep.
But on the other hand, also for ourselves to give some songs that wouldn't have had a place otherwise, we still like so much to give them like a record of their own.
Sure.
Like the Outcast record.
And it's which is funny coming after We Are the Other.
Exactly.
But you know, hey, so here it is.
Should have called it We Are the Outs.
Right? Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
Well, we can save it and do it again, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Our next interlude.
Yeah, why not?
Record. We know what to call it now.
I mean, you can't call it Interlude again. Pretty good, but whatever. You know, as a big music enthusiast, there's a lot of bands where I really love hearing their versions of covers. I think that definitely holds true with what we got on Interlude. Cranberries. Right? Well, actually, that wasn't originally them either, was it? Which song on there was Cranberries? Cordell.
Yeah.
Love that, but at the same time, like when I come to a live show, I don't need to see you play somebody else's music. I enjoy enough of your own.
We have the same feeling. Some songs.
Headlining tour, maybe one or something.
Exactly.
But generally speaking, no. There's too much to even go in. I'm thinking I want B-sides, half of it. Don't Let Go is in my mind. I want to hear that live.
You know, some of those cover songs, I mean, we've never kind of played that card, but it's very smart on festivals, for example. There's people who don't know you,
Sure.
and then they have one song that they can sing along to. If you really pick that one song that everybody knows,
Yeah.
maybe Small Town Boy would be in that category.
Yep.
It's like another thing that we never did, but it would be quite a good idea. Never mind. It's good ideas here.
All right, good. Let's get a pen and paper next time,
Yeah.
right? Let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So again, we're early in the tour.
Yeah.
How's it been this time compared to the last tour? I know you guys did a headliner in Montreal. Wish I could have been there for every possible reason. A giant set list being chief among them. But crowd reaction, is it starting to snowball?
Yeah, actually, I have the feeling that we're getting really good response. We see it in everything from, you know, the response at the gig itself to merch sales to, you know, generally like kind of the online activity, like very buzzy.
You guys are watching a lot. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And the street team seems to be, you know, busier now than ever before on this tour.
And that is great, you know. I mean, the fact that we have such an active club event in the US, and it's amazing, and it helps a lot in the promo of everything, and it's great.
So tell us about that microphone.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. It completely shocked me in the best possible way.
Sure.
So we landed and we got our gear at one point, and the American street team helped a lot with that. So at one point there was like a box that I didn't know yet, and it was like, hey Charlotte, we have a present for you, like a surprise. And it came with the sweetest message from some of the fans.
Yeah.
And, like a UFO and it lights up and everything, and it has a remote control. You could put it in all possible colors. It's like one other thing that we did in Montreal. Like I really wanted to, because we actually had some time, so I really wanted to show off the mic stand. So I showed like all the things that they could do to the audience.
Oh, nice! Oh, nice!
And then I had them pick the color for the next song.
Yep.
And they picked green.
Oh, there you go.
Nice little detail. They picked green.
Green in Montreal, not red or blue.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it's incredibly amazing, and I've told Chip and Scott a million times that it's so wonderful, and I'm so humbled by something like that. I honestly don't know.
So that's a keeper, huh?
Definitely.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. One of the things that I wanted to get into last time, and
I like long walks to the fridge.
Okay, to the fridge. Only if it's well stocked.
Long romantic walks to the fridge.
So, I know, and there've been a lot of different interviews about influences for songs. Sophie Lancaster. You've been asked that a lot. So I guess where I would go from there, first of all, is open it up for anything that you do want to say on what really drives you as far as when you're writing. But I guess I would go into like what's been driving the new album as far as inspiration, as far as subject matter. Anything you care to share.
The upcoming one or the still touring one? Or?
Floor is yours.
Well, what I guess, like, of course, as a band, you evolve in different directions because all of the band members and all of the people in the writing team and production team, we kind of all evolve in our own way. So it's not hard to take one thing out of that. And but what I really noticed for myself, and if I focus purely on myself as a lyricist, because that makes the question easier and more.
Fair enough.
Is that like next year we will be having our 10-year anniversary. Oh my god, from Lucidity, the very first album, and I've been kind of analyzing like the stuff that I've worked with in the lyrics.
Okay.
The funniest thing is, like, a lot of people have made the comment that I've become so more political or more socially critical on the records, and which is true. A lot of people have also commented that it has become less personal, and I've been thinking about that. Like, how do I kind of fit that into my brain? That the political and the social things that would not be that would not be personal, because for me it really is.
It is.
And what I really noticed is when I look at like the material when I started writing lyrics for Delain, basically when I was like 17 years old.
Right.
It's kind of a coming of age story, because you're in the middle of puberty.
Sure.
Writing songs, and your world is also very limited to yourself and your emotions and your heartbreaks and your, and it's only when I guess for me, like maybe a lot of people already know that when they're 12, but for me I really started noticing more and more over the years how you are connected to the world and how you kind of play a part in everything, and that's kind of how over the years I think that your world expands, so a lot of people ask me, like, are you going to do personal stuff on this record, or are you going to do like political stuff on the record? And for me, what I've really noticed is that in a way it doesn't really matter, because political is personal and vice versa. And I kind of like how the range of topics has expanded, not by saying, oh, I need to write about something else this time, let's pick this or that, but really about kind of things invading me instead of,
Yeah, well, absolutely.
And that's, it feels really good to be able to vent stuff.
See, as a fan, I actually really do like that, because you don't, as a casual listener, as a casual fan, you don't have to take that meaning necessarily out of the song either.
No.
But then at the same time, you have the ability to kind of read into it and go, where's she going with this? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, no, but really, you could dive into it more, or you could just kind of take it on the surface and go, well, I really like the rhythm, or you know what I mean? know, her vocals sound great, or what?
This is also because there's also multiple levels of working with things, and I really want the lyrics to tell us a story and to have some depth in them. And exactly, I really like it when the best combination for me is that the words are very easy in order, that you can have you know, it can be deep and all, but it still sounds very catchy.
Yeah.
And to have both of those things, that's I think the biggest challenge.
Yep.
Because I used to, when